From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Right now, get a great deal on the durable Kubota RTVX. When there's work to do and a reputation to uphold, it's built to haul it all and do it all. Half-ton capabilities with attachments to get the job done right. And industry-exclusive heavy-duty features. It's North America's #1 selling diesel utility vehicle. Now, get the RTVX for 0 down, 0% APR for 36 months or save $300.
Tractors, RTV, construction equipment. You do it all, we do it local.
Well, good morning, everyone. Today is the day that we've been talking about the atmospheric river coming in, the heavy rainfall, the flooding potential. So here is what I'm tracking here for today. Heavy coastal and mountain rain. When I say mountain rain, mainly for the mountains north and west of the valley. Eastern Siskiyou, Modoc, the mountains of eastern Shasta County, Tehama County, Butte County, not to mention Lassen and Plumas counties. Not going to see much rainfall out of all of this. And there's also the threat for flooding and the potential for mudslides and debris flows in the areas that do see the most amount of rainfall, especially in those burn-scarred areas. And the winds, they're also going to play a role in our forecast today, starting off on the coast and then eventually making their way into the valley and even the eastern mountains. Everyone in some shape or form is going to see some gusty winds out there today, but of course at different times of the day. So let's get you right into it. Take a look at Futurecast. 8 o'clock this morning, the heaviest rainfall is on the coast, especially in Del Norte County and northern Humboldt County. By the time we get into 10 o'clock this morning, now it's made its way into Humboldt County, but still dry and still plenty of sunshine for many areas east of that as well. We take you to about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Now we're transitioning and getting into Trinity County and most of Siskiyou County. But notice Del Norte and most of Humboldt County looking at much drier conditions. The worst is behind you at this point on the north coast. And of course, the worst is kind of hitting through you right now at 3 o'clock, of course, 3 o'clock this afternoon for Trinity County in Siskiyou County. You head to the east of that, still dry. Now the valley, especially around Redding, may see some showers at this point, but it's not until the late afternoon and early evening that it pushes through. But another thing to notice is that rain begins to push through, it gets weaker. So it's strongest on the coast. It weakens, but still strong over Trinity County and Siskiyou County, and then significantly weaker by the time it makes its way through the valley. So we're not going to see a ton of rain. And then, of course, as we push eastward, that band of rain really begins to weaken, because now at this point, the atmospheric river has pretty much shifted down to the south and weakened. And all we're dealing with now is just the leftover moisture, and it's not much, right? And that's why we're not seeing much rain. So that's tonight at 11 o'clock. Then by tomorrow morning, maybe a few lingering showers here and there for everyone, especially in the mountains. And then as we go into Tuesday around noon, still a little bit of activity trying to squeeze itself out of there before it dries out by Tuesday afternoon, and not to mention Wednesday. However, there is a weaker atmospheric river that could impact the coast come Wednesday morning. Everyone else dry. By Wednesday around noon, that rain even for the coast is gone. So it's not going to be much as far as Wednesday is concerned. And then the forecast models are all over the place for basically Wednesday all the way through next weekend. So for now, it's staying fairly dry through next week, or through this week, that is. But any chances for rain may hold off until this upcoming weekend. We'll wait and see. But here you can see some of the rainfall totals through Wednesday, anywhere from 1 to 2.5 inches for the coast. And we could get close to 2 inches of rain for some of those higher exposed mountain ridges. But then notice you start seeing less as you head eastward, with about 1/2 inch at most for some of the areas in Trinity County. And then we continue to see even less rainfall as it head east of that. Now, notice in Redding, we got 6/100 of an inch of rainfall. Chico really is not expected to see that much rain at all. So I think this forecast model is a bit off on how much rain the valley will see. I think Redding could see more than 6/100, maybe 1/10, maybe 2/10, maybe even 1/4 of an inch. As you head south in the valley, the amount of rainfall will diminish. And of course, here we're looking at an insignificant amount of rain total. I mean, it's just not going to amount to much. So basically, it's a typical atmospheric river type of event where you see the heaviest rainfall on the coast, and then all the rain that pushes eastward pretty much just fizzles out. And we don't see as much rainfall there as a result. So you can see the flood alerts. Central and western Siskiyou County, Del Norte and Humboldt counties. Again, I was talking about the potential for some localized flooding, some debris flows, mudslides out there, especially along the burn-scarred areas. Trinity County is not part of this, but I do think Trinity County does have that potential for some localized flooding as well, especially as we get into the early afternoon hours. Okay, now we switch gears and talk about the winds. And you can see the wind advisories. Bottom line, everyone's going to see winds in some shape or form. The heaviest winds will be in the Shasta Valley, along the coast. I think some stronger winds out in Trinity County, and some very gusty winds are expected in Modoc County. And quite honestly, we should be looking at some advisories there for Lassen County as well, because we're going to be looking at some pretty gusty winds there as well. So let's walk you through the timing of those winds. Here's 8 o'clock this morning. Now we take it about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Notice the winds are dying down for the coast. Still pretty gusty, though, in Shasta Valley along the I-5 corridor there in central Siskiyou County. But now the valley getting in on some of these gusty winds, and not to mention the eastern mountains. So notice Alturas, 33 miles per hour at 3 p.m. today. And then you can see the very gusty winds even in Lassen County as well. Okay, now we take you to about 7 p.m. Winds have died down significantly off to the north and west, even Shasta Valley. Still a little breezy for the valley, but still pretty gusty in parts of the eastern mountains before, by the time we get into tonight through Tuesday, those winds will be much calmer across the board. So it's just going to be kind of one of those events where it's today, it just starts on the coast and then works its way eastward like that of the rain. Now, believe it or not, we're also talking about some fire danger today. Since the rain is really going to hold off until tonight and probably even tomorrow morning for Modoc County eastern mountains, with the gusty winds and dry conditions, we've got high fire danger out there. So should a fire start in any of these areas here, they can spread rapidly because of the dry conditions, despite the fact that not too far from those fires, if they should start, is some heavy rainfall that's producing potentially some localized flooding. So an interesting day to say the least. We're talking about potential for flooding. We're talking about the potential for power outages because of those gusty winds. We're also talking about the potential for some high fire danger as well. So certainly a lot going on today that we're going to have to monitor here very closely. And, you know, speaking of the winds, I mean, look at these wave heights, 15, 16, 17 feet. And look at the wave heights as we go into tomorrow. Same situation. So we're still going to be looking at some pretty high waves by the time we get into, of course, today and not to mention tomorrow. So your marine forecast for today, south winds at 20 to 25 knots, waves from the southwest at 13 feet at about 10 seconds, and from the west at 6 feet at 15. And there's that small correct advisory out there for today. All right, so let's take a look at your forecast for your Monday. Rain, possible thunderstorms. Heaviest rainfall will be right here. Then it starts to fizzle out. Heavier rainfall in the valley will be the north end of the valley. Now notice, Redding and Red Bluff has rain coming from those clouds, right? Look at Chico, Willows, Oroville. No rain coming from those clouds because anything we see will either be, number one, very light, and number two, will hold off until later this evening and tonight. And same situation off to the east. No rain coming from those clouds. It's just going to be late this evening and tonight that we could see some light showers. And that will be the extent of it here for today. So here's your 7-day outlook. And what we're seeing here for Mount Shasta is best chance for rain today, maybe some showers coming in on Tuesday, but then by Wednesday, it dries out. And we stay dry. For the most part, it's looking like at this point, through the end of the week, and not to mention this weekend. Alturas, Susanville, you're not seeing a drop of rain on this 7-day forecast. That's because if we see anything, it'll be mainly this evening and tonight. And then it should be dry for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday as well. All right, here's a look at your 7-day outlook for the valley. Redding and Red Bluff, you have the best chance for rain. Then it's later on this evening tonight. Chico, you can see some of that. And then notice we've got dry conditions. And by the way, look at the temperatures. I mean, we're only going to be looking at highs in the upper 70s to about 80 degrees. All right, so here's your 7-day outlook for the coast. So what we're seeing here is everyone, the coast, inland, and Trinity County, all seeing that round of some heavy rainfall this morning and into the afternoon for Trinity County. Tuesday, Wednesday, I think the coast could see a chance for some showers. Now, it's not going to compare in anywhere near what we're going to see here for today. Just some light showers are a possibility for both tomorrow and Wednesday. For the inland areas, maybe some lingering showers on Tuesday. That may be the case in Weaverville as well. And then it dries out for the inland areas, and not to mention Weaverville on Wednesday. And then for now, I'm keeping the end of this week and into the weekend dry, and with temperatures also on the mild side, only reaching the low to mid 70s for the inland areas and Trinity County.